And right there is a rectangular opening. And estimates are it's about a meter or slightly less than a meter tall.
Okay.
So I've zoomed in on that to give us a closer look at the interior.
Whoa.
And it looks white. The interior looks like cement or plaster.
Yeah, it's a totally
It
different
doesn't
color.
have this reddish tint that the rock has. So if it's been cut into the rock, you'd have this rough texture.
Yeah.
Okay, the image on the left shows you the D&M pyramid, very close to the face in Cydonia. You could walk to the face from here. Then you've got that one that's next to those other two on the right. Look at the shape.
But they have 5 sides. 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting.
Could that be a part of wreckage that got stuck into the side of this thing?
It looks like a cyclopean wall that was knocked down, to me.
Possibly, yeah. This is more of a solid part to the right, and then these 2 pieces sticking off, or 2 parts.
All right. Greetings, humans. Welcome back to Dave's Multiverse. I am Dave, your host. As always, my lovely producer Megan is here. On today's episode, we are exploring potential artifacts, structures, strange anomalies, and even possible UAPs captured in NASA imagery of Mars. My guest is our friend, JeanWard, an independent researcher from South Africa who spent years carefully analyzing high-resolution Mars photos and uncovering what appears to be megaliths, geometric formations, and other unexplained features. With a background in graphic design and imaging, Jean shares his findings openly on his YouTube channel and website. Jean, welcome to the show. We did a live stream with you before, like back in the day, I think when Mike was still here, but this is your first official recorded episode of Dave's Multiverse. So thank you for joining the Multiverse again, my friend.
Hello, Dave. Thanks for inviting me. I'm delighted to be here. It's good to see you again, Megan.
Yeah, always good to see you.
Thanks.
And as some of you guys might know, Jean is part of our Mars Disclosure Live panel, which we do every 2 weeks, where he usually shows us a couple little tidbits. But today he's going to show us some ones that we haven't seen on Mars Disclosure Live, including this weird doorway or something on Mars, which totally trips me out.
Oh my God.
And you know, the thing about I have an open mind about pretty much everything. And with this stuff, Jean, you sort of treat it as, you know, you don't make any bold claims or statements. You just treat it as this is what my eyes see, and you ask your audience, what do you see? And
That's
leave it
right.
open to interpretation. I really like how you do that. Is that intentional?
Yes, it is. I'm a nuts and bolts guy. So I'll rummage about, I'll find these things, and I'll present them as they are. Normally, I concentrate on anomalies that are very geometrical and symmetrical, and also try and avoid anything where I can be accused of, hey, but that's only pareidolia.
Right.
So you'll see most of my anomalies are geometric and symmetrical. And I leave it up to the audience to decide what it is. I always invite them to join me in the chat, and then we can, you know, debate what these might be. Are they natural? What could they be? And I like to always say we need to get boots on the ground, walk up to these things and go and check them out to make sure what they are. Are they artificial? Are they not? Are there machine marks on these things? Are there rivets? Are there bolts, nuts, screws? You know, the typical thing that you'd expect to find on something similar here on Earth. Not that it would be on Mars. But we need boots there to go and check these things out. The rovers take these photographs from far away, and they'd never drive up to these things to go and take a look at them. The Mars Reconnaissance
Maybe they do.
takes photographs of these things, and we get to see them at 25 centimeters per pixel. So there aren't drones, there aren't rovers, there aren't any gadgets that can go up to these things to go check them out. So that's what I want. I would love for these things to enjoy the investigation and the time that it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens in the future when Elon with SpaceX gets there. I don't know if he's interested in his anomalies, but I think there might be some secrets, there might be some technology that they want to get their hands on.
I wonder, I think Elon said he's like trying to get there by like 2030 or something crazy like that.
That's right. Yes.
People there by 2030, which would be interesting. I think, if anything, he's probably curious about them. I think, but his like whole mission is to like make be the beginning of an interplanetary species. He wants to be the guy that did that. I think it's more with him. It's more about like accomplishment, like what can I accomplish and attach my name to. But either way, if we get people there, look, we very, very much could go take a look at some of this stuff.
They're bound to find something. Wherever they land, they're bound to find something because Mars is covered with artifacts.
Yeah, and that's the most shocking thing when you look at your channel and when we do our Mars Disclosure Live, is that we're not talking about like a couple things, like the whole face on Mars thing, and then that people think there's that, and then like a couple other things that look like pyramids maybe, and that's pretty much it. We're talking about thousands, and this is just what's been discovered. There's so much ground that it's a huge planet, and there's only a few people that are doing the work that you do. There's a few others like you, like Gary Legier. Shout out Gary, he's been on Mars Disclosure Live, and a couple other people. How did someone with a background in web development and graphic design end up becoming one of the most active independent researchers analyzing NASA Mars imagery? Like, were you fascinated with Mars as a kid? Do you remember like learning about Mars in school? Like, how did this happen?
Right. If I recall, I was in grade 4.
I like how South Africans say grade 4, like Canadians, because Americans say 4th grade.
Yeah. And I think it's standard 1 in the old terminology, but around the 4th grade. Let me say that correctly.
And what was it? Was it like a movie, a documentary?
I got interested. We had we all had to do a task, a project, and my friend and I opted to do the Apollo space program.
Okay.
And we put together a nice presentation, cut these things out, stick them on posters, write your notes in. And that got me into this whole space, moon, and then the planets, and then Mars. And then when I was very young, I was in the 7th grade when I had a UFO experience.
Okay, I always ask
where I actually witnessed a UFO.
Okay.
And that really got me interested in conspiracies and that sort of thing. And then that went on for a couple of years. I lost interest.
Wait. And then, John, stop for a second. I apologize. I need to bring us back to this UFO experience, please.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind sharing the experience. What happened? How old were you? What did you see? Where were you?
I was 12 or 13 years old. And me and a friend were hiking on a mountain close by. And we noticed these funny, long, narrow, brown things. They were sort of twisted like DNA, almost like seed pods, long seed pods, but brown, were falling all around us. And we looked up, and there's this cloud above us, and all these things are coming out of the cloud. They're falling out of this cloud.
What?
And spreading out and falling around us. And on the edge of the cloud, we could see a disk. A shiny disk hiding behind this cloud.
Wow.
And
were you out in the wilderness?
Eh?
Were you in the wilderness, close to the city? Where were you?
This is in the suburbs,
okay.
where I stay. There's this hill or like a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on top of this. We were hiking, and we noticed these things falling around us. When we looked up, we saw this cloud with a disk sticking out on the one side. You could barely see it. And these things are falling out of the center of this cloud, spreading out around us. And we watched this thing for like 3-4 minutes as it was moving away from us. It stopped dropping these things. And then eventually it went off into the distance. And the cloud sort of dissipated and the disk wasn't there. But it was quite far by that time. And then we looked around to see if we could find these things that were falling around us. We couldn't find one.
Huh.
They were all gone. They were all gone. And we knew, we could see these things falling around us. They were spread out, a couple of feet.
What?
And they weren't there. That was mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Do you still know that guy?
Tony Fury, yes.
Does he still remember that?
I don't know. I haven't spoken to him in years.
You should ask him.
But you'll remember it for sure.
Wow.
So I want to see a UAP or UFO so bad. Okay, so that happened. You had your you did your project and stuff, and then I'm assuming like you started like having to grow up and get a real job and stuff like that. And did you maintain this interest in space and whatnot throughout your life?
Not so much. I did buy a poster or two, depicting the moon, planets, that sort of thing. Little models once in a while, but I never researched it. And then it was 2017 when I was searching for a cool desktop wallpaper for my PC. So I just bought a new monitor and I wanted to put a fancy graphic on. And I was looking for something space-related. And I came across this strange it looks like a submarine, a long tube with geodesic domes on it. And I wondered, what's this? And I clicked on it and it opened the article. And it was talking about Gary McKinnon that hacked into the NASA and DO Department of Defense servers. And he was downloading these photographs that were in a sort of a restricted folder on one of the servers. And when the photograph was sort of 3/4 done downloading, the connection was broken. And he reckons they noticed that someone had gained access to their network from an outside IP, because he's in the UK. So they cut his connection. He was actually going to be extradited to the US for espionage, something like that. Whoa. But that never happened. But he released that photograph. And that got me interested in the secret space program, because he also had a spreadsheet listing non-terrestrial officers. So these were officers that weren't that were off-world, basically out in space. And I started researching the secret space program and got into Solar Warden. I don't know if you're familiar with it. The possibility that the Nazis could have ended up on the moon and Mars during that period of the Second World War with their Haunebu flying saucer craft that is speculated they had built and perfected. And then I came across this guy on YouTube called Will Ferrar. His channel's name is What's Up in the Sky 37. And he was showing all these anomalies he was discovering on Mars. So it's sort of like a little rabbit hole that I was going down in my search for more information about the secret space program. And then I thought to myself, but hang on a sec, if these photographs are available publicly, then I can download these things and look for anomalies too. And then I started doing that and I was finding stuff. And then I thought to myself, okay, how am I going to share my finds with people? So I started up a blog and I was posting these images there, but they weren't gaining any traction. I had no traffic. So I thought, okay, I'm going to start up a YouTube channel. And I followed Will's sort of methodology. I got into it and I started releasing my videos. And I've been doing that for 9 years now.
Wow.
And I've analyzed hundreds of thousands of NASA photographs.
Your YouTube channel, I've noticed you've got, so for example, people come from your channel and they watch Mars Disclosure Live and they seem to really like you. Like you've got some fans who really are into your work and really appreciative. Do you come across like, you know, negativity at all, like in your comment section?
Not very often. Very often.
That's amazing. It shows that people are pretty open-minded about the topic.
I've had to block about 5 people because they get personal. They get really personal. Insults, terrible, terrible people. You try and debate with them, but it just gets worse and worse and worse.
Trolls, don't feed them. Don't feed the troll under the bridge.
I've blocked about 5 people.
That's actually not too bad.
No, I'm actually quite surprised as well. I'm very grateful too.
Considering, you know, the quote controversialness of the topic to a lot of people, I think that's pretty good. And it shows, you know, like I said, an open-mindedness. I was wondering if you could like walk us through your typical process, like when you're going through thousands of NASA images, what are you looking for? You mentioned geometric, and how do you decide something is worth highlighting and then like kind of investigating further?
Okay, typically the photographs I download are huge. I'm talking.
I just thought this was pretty cool, so I'm gonna play it while we're going.
Normally the MRO photographs, the high resolution photographs, are like a gigabyte in size. They're in JPEG 2000 format because they're so huge. They can't save them as normal JPEG, so they use the JP2 format, and you need a special viewer to open those files too. There's one available that they created specifically to open JP2 photographs. And then what I do is I open these things, and then I start in the top left-hand corner. Then I pan through. I go down the photograph, go back to the top, move it over slightly, go down, pan through to the bottom, and then I scan through the photograph like that. It normally takes me half a day to do one image. And what I do is my eye is so trained already, I immediately notice when something's different to the surrounding boulders and rocks. Geometry and symmetry catches my eye immediately. Normally it would be a megalith, a rectangular or square megalith with a knob on it or a protrusion. or it will be a dome, perfectly round, or it will be like a slab, a rock slab, boulder thing, with an arrangement of smaller parts on top of it, arranged in geometric patterns like triangles, T's. You know, it immediately stands out. And pyramids too. I mean, you can't miss those. Four-sided, sloping up, flat top. That's how I find these things. My eye's trained to notice there's randomness in the photographs.
I
But
feel
as
like
soon
your
as something,
background, I was going to say, I feel like your background in graphic design might have contributed to that as well.
absolutely, I did, yeah.
You didn't know every little pixel's in the right place with your design.
I created this background. It's a virtual background. So, yeah, I'm in graphic designing. But, yeah, so if you go through the photograph too and you take your time, scanning, you're going to notice something too when it doesn't look like the typical rocks and boulders around it. It's just you need to take the time. That's it. You need to take the time. And you need lots of it when you do this research. That's how I do it. And basically, the other thing is when you go to the NASA sites, to the MRO or to the rover websites, you see pages and pages full of thumbnails of the photographs. And I've noticed that photographs with lots of boulders in them and dune fields are going to have anomalies. Those that are very bland, 10 to 1, they're not going to have anomalies at all.
Mm-hmm.
And also, that's now with the high-rise MRO photographs. Then, with the Curiosity and Perseverance rover catalogue and the thumbnails, you'll notice immediately in the thumbnail when something looks a little off and it doesn't look like the surrounding rocks and boulders. So, yeah, I don't download every single photograph and go through it. Next photograph, go through it. I look specifically for certain traits or characteristics.
Okay.
I'm used to that now. To save time because I just don't have enough time to download everything and go through them because there's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of photographs. And I've probably only looked at like 1% of them.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And you've found a lot of stuff too. And you've only looked at about 1% of them. That's incredible.
Yeah, I counted the other day. I found something like over 400,000 artifacts on Mars.
Over 400,000 in 1% of
if you
the
go
images?
to my blog, megalithicmars.com, and you look at every single anomaly that I show in my blog posts, and you add them all up, they come to like something like 400,000.
Wow, you've been working hard.
That's incredible stuff.
What drives you to do that?
Well, I would say after my second UFO encounter, I was driven to get into the... Yeah, there was a second encounter with the orb.
Hear about that too.
Yes, of course.
I had an encounter with 3 orbs flying in a triangular pattern. No, typically like those that you'd see now on the these tranches that they release, those triangles. I saw one of those, and I actually photographed it as well. Followed by a crescent-shaped UFO. These three things came over, and I went out to get my camera, and I photographed it. And then when I looked up at the sky, there was like this dark patch. It was cloudy, full moon, and I could see, something's blocking some of the clouds that are just visible with the full moon, you know? And I checked, it was a huge crescent-shaped craft. It was coming over slowly, very slowly, with no sound, no lights, black, pitch black.
When was that?
2014.
Okay.
I've actually created 2 blog posts where I detail my sightings and I show graphics of where the sighting occurred, in which direction these craft are moving, how fast, illustration, and then the photographs of the orbs as well. I've got on my blog. I can show you guys just now.
What if history isn't linear? What if civilizations rise and fall again and again? Discover the shocking truth in Deja Vu. Has Everything Already Been? By my friend Alexander Cheshkovich. Grab your copy now on Amazon. The link is in the description below. And subscribe to Dave's Multiverse on YouTube, Spotify, and Rumble today so you don't miss a thing.
And since then, I've been driven to do this research. I don't know if it was some other telepathy, perhaps. I don't know. Or, I don't know. Can these guys change you to get into something that you don't normally do? I don't know how it works. There's a program now that the government's starting up to look at the telepathic side of UAPs and UAP sightings.
Well, one thing I can tell you is certain people seem to be like, they seem to be drawn more to certain people than other people.
Yes.
And you know, we remember Ryan Desbian. He thinks he has Megan. We interviewed this guy. He's the Psy Games champion, where they do these I guess you call them events where they challenge people with telepathic abilities to do certain things. And he like won the whole thing. And he, according to him, and I've talked to more than just him that say this, they can, you know, telepathically connect with some of these. When you talk UFOs, UAPs, very broad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of it could be technology. But then we had David Grush on recently. We didn't have him on, but he was talking literally on the news at the White House, talking about plasma beings, sentient plasma beings. And he's one of these UFO UAP whistleblowers. So I don't rule out that like certain people such as yourself can be like connected to these things. And that makes sense that would be like, I mean, if you had those experiences that you had and the background that you have, I could see why that drives you, because you're a busy guy, got a real job, and most of your spare time you spend doing this. And I think that's a pretty good reason, you know, if you've seen them.
I don't know if you've seen Dr. Greer's work, the CE5 work he does.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I've seen that, and there's another guy, I'm trying to think of his name. He's got a son. They do a whole like spiritual connection to these things. What is his name? Anyway,
Brian actually released a video a couple of days ago where he was at a similar event where he saw these craft and orbs and things. After they had summoned these things to come.
Wow.
Yeah, Brian Dobbs, you know. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, that's what you described.
Yes, this is the illustration I put together. And these are those brown things. They looked very similar to this. And they were about 1 foot long.
Whoa.
And there you can see the disc sort of sticking out. That's what it looked like. And this is the hill. I lived down here somewhere. And this is the hill we were on. We were here where
So
there's
it's kind of in the middle of a city, more or less.
Yeah, it's a suburb, you know. And these things came. This is a view from the top of the hill.
I love how you recreated the experience for your blog.
Yes.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
And
Chris Bledsoe. Sorry. Chris Bledsoe. Have you ever heard of Chris Bledsoe, Jean?
yes.
He does similar stuff. He routinely summons orbs and UAPs to his property. Mike and I went to Contact in the Desert and saw him do it with a group of us, and I didn't see anything, but some people said they did. So anyway,
yes, there's another artist that also recreates sightings and things. I can't remember his name now. It'll come to mind. But this is the path it followed as well.
Okay.
That's where we were, on top of that hill that you can see the ridge there.
You weren't messing around.
This is when we noticed it. It was about there, and then it moved across. Directly overhead.
wow.
And then it stopped dropping those things, and then gradually the cloud dissipated and the craft was no longer visible.
Wild.
Yeah, that distance between that ridge and this ridge at the bottom, called Kilberry, that's about 4 kilometers or 3 kilometers. So we checked this thing for quite a distance. Okay. And that is that. I've even got longitude and latitude.
Wow.
Okay, let's have a look at the other sighting, the second one. This was 2012. There's the actual, oops, why is the photograph not there? I migrated my site, so some of the photographs, the links don't work. Oh, crap. But anyway,
okay. We can see it there.
It was full moon. There were clouds, and then the 3 orbs. And they stayed at that distance from each other and in that shape all the way until I could no longer see them. And this is where I was staying at the time, over here in the center of the image. And these things came in from the top right, went over my house, and went in this direction to the bottom left. And that took about 8 minutes.
Did you like feel any?
Yes. Excitement and fear.
Okay.
Intense fear. I don't know why. I recall fear. Okay, that one's also not showing.
That's okay.
Why
Don't
is
worry about
that?
it. We can see them from here.
Okay, so yeah, I've indicated where north is, the direction in which the wind was blowing. The clouds are moving that way, and these things were moving diagonally across the wind. So I don't think they were Chinese lanterns. I wonder if I've got close-ups. Why aren't my photographs loaded? I must investigate this. But yeah, I don't know if you can make out the details, but that's what they look like zoomed in.
Yeah, we can see it.
Wow. Of course, it was a
Not
full moon.
typically, not like Chinese lanterns.
No.
Even these have got like odd crescent shapes to them as well.
Wow.
And then directly after those, this thing came across. It was shaped like this.
Whoa.
Okay, there's the map. Yeah, but anyway, I like to document things well.
Great
But
work.
that was my experience. Could they have abducted me in the past? I don't know, and programmed me to look into this stuff.
I mean,
Why am I so drawn to it?
maybe they just telepathically sent you the message to do so.
Because I feel literally compelled to do this. Oops, there we go.
Okay, we just
I
closed.
feel compelled to do this. I can't stop. Even when I'm tired and I don't feel well, I end up doing it.
I'm super grateful that you do. So, Jean, you've told us about your UFO UAP experiences. We've speculated about, how some of these objects can connect to our consciousness and potentially are what's driving you. But you've also talked to me. I don't know if you talked about this on your channel or on your blog, but you suspect a personal cost that you've been taking, where like you've been experiencing some health issues, some surveillance issues related to you, and it doesn't surprise me that somebody who's doing the work that you do draws interest from people like in the secret space program and things like that, because I do believe that we had a secret space program, the Russians had a secret space program, and I'm more into the directed energy topic as of recently, because I've shown some pretty good evidence that a lot of what happened at 9/11 was potentially directed energy. And they've talked about having these abilities for a long time, for decades. People have speculated about these abilities. So what have you experienced, like as sort of a personal cost of like doing the work that you do?
Okay, yeah, Dave, I've experienced a number of symptoms. And, I never could get my finger on what's wrong. Until recently, when I started talking about all these scientists that have disappeared. How many are there? 15 or 16 scientists?
Something like that, yeah. One of them they found, but she was dead when they found her.
Yeah, they're all involved with NASA somehow. They're all involved in laboratories doing research on alternative propulsion techniques and principles. They work in various fields, but sort of interconnected fields.
Right.
So there was this Amy Estridge, I think her name is.
Correct. Yeah, I watched a bunch of stuff about her.
She spoke about directed energy weapons being used against her because she had burn marks on her hands.
On her hands, yeah, correct.
Yeah, and she was feeling weird. And then they put up the shield, like the Faraday cloth on her window, and it seemed to go away. And then she also came forward to say that she'll never commit suicide, etc., etc., etc. And she feels she's sort of a targeted individual. I don't know if you saw that clip.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I watched like hours worth of people reporting about her and all the videos she put out and stuff like that. And they tried to make her look crazy, which is a tactic. I have a friend, I'm not going to say his name here, but he's been on my show and he's somewhat involved in the community. But he dug deep into some of this stuff from an academic standpoint, and then got his life completely ruined by people who are trying to make him look crazy. It happens. It happens if you try to stir the pot.
Yeah, they'll discredit you any way, shape, or form they can. But then, the other story was a while ago. The American embassy in Havana, the staff were evacuated after experiencing nausea, ringing or tinnitus in the ears. And they were also suspecting directed energy weapons were being used against them. And then last week, there was a story that came out in the media talking about these directed energy weapons that they do have, and they do use them.
Right. And then they use them you said it earlier.
It's highly likely they use them in Venezuela, yes.
Yes, yeah. Well, I thought they said they did.
Yeah, to confuse the troops on the ground before the invasion, And also they used the directed energy weapons to shoot missiles and drones out of the sky. So there's multiple uses. So what happened then I started connecting the dots. Because I suffer from insomnia for about 2 years now. I get skin rashes where my skin goes red and it starts itching, especially on my hands, on the side of my face. I even developed a little type of a skin cancer that I'm getting treatment for on the side of my face here. Luckily, that's going away. I've got brain fog, major brain fog. And what else is there? Then the helicopters that randomly circle my house. So what happens is, I hear this helicopter, right? About, I'd say, 8 months or 6 months ago. This helicopter is very low and it's loud. And I check out my window and it's this huge white military helicopter. And it's got no markings on it. So I went outside and I was looking. This thing was flying just above treetop level, circling my house in like a 100-meter radius. For like 5 minutes, just like circling my home. I'm right in the center, looking up at these guys. Eventually, I just salute them because I don't know what they're doing. So I'll salute them, whatever. And eventually they fly off in the direction of the local Air Force base.
Well, if you Havana syndrome is exactly what you're describing: brain fog, difficulty concentrating, fatigue, insomnia.
Yes. Skin problems, ringing in the ears.
Yeah.
This cancer on the side of my face. So, and then at the beginning of this year, it happened again. This huge white helicopter is circling my home. And again, I can't see any markings on it, and it's white. Normally, our Air Force or Army helicopters are painted with some sort of camouflage. I'll show you photographs when we get to that point. And normally, the helicopters are sprayed white and marked with UN if they're partaking in any United Nations humanitarian work up in Africa. And then I came across this article because I was searching now, what are these white helicopters? Why aren't they painted in camouflage? And I came across this Defense web page. I don't know if you can see it, maybe share it on your side, Dave.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, this is Defense Web, and this is the article. The South African National Defence Force welcomes return of Oryx helicopters from the Democratic Republic of Congo.
What?
Yes, and look at the date, 23 October 2025.
About 2 years ago. Now,
no, that was a couple of months ago.
Okay.
Yes.
But I was just saying, because you said, well, you started feeling the symptoms about 2 years ago. So that's within that time frame.
The insomnia. That's when the insomnia started.
Yeah. Are those what the helicopters look like right there?
Yes. Okay, they arrived at Waterkloof Air Force Base on the 12th of October. And it was shortly after that one of these white helicopters was circling my house. It's the exact same helicopter, wow. Oryx. This is what was circling my house. And this is what they looked like when they painted white with a UN logo on them. You can see the South African flag and a registration number on the tail as well. Those that were circling my home didn't have the UN insignia like the larger image I'm showing on the right. But the flag and the number, the registration number, were missing. So it was a plain white helicopter exactly like this, South African National Defence Force helicopter. Normally it's sprayed in camouflage, like you can see in the other pictures.
Right.
And then at the beginning of the year, it happened again, same type of helicopter. Still white, no UN insignia, no flag, no registration number. So am I what they call a targeted individual? Is it just pure coincidence? Did these guys return back from, a mission up in the DRC and they were coming to greet one of their friends that lives nearby? Do a flyover, buzz the tower type of thing.
Whoa.
But twice.
This happened twice or more than twice?
Yeah. At the end of last year, in around November, about a week or two after they returned from the DRC, and then at the beginning of the year.
Right, and this all happened right after this October 2022 here article. That's wild.
Oh, no, 2025.
Or sorry, 2025, my bad.
Yes. So is it a pure coincidence? But combined with all the symptoms I'm suffering, is there possibly something sinister going on? And I can tell you guys straight off the bat, I will never commit suicide. So if something happens to me, not that it will, I'm telling you right now, I will never take my own life. Never. I won't just disappear either without telling anyone where I'm going.
Well, shit, I hope you don't.
It does worry me. It bothers me, but could it just be coincidence?
It could be, but I honestly don't know. I feel like it's one of those situations like the Amy Eskridge where, if they'll look to discredit you if you call it out. But I'm glad you're saying right now that you would never do anything and that you'd never disappear.
No.
Because I think that's important to say in circumstances like this. It's wild.
Yeah, and a friend of mine has also suggested I buy radio frequency and EMF meters to measure the radio frequency in my house and around my house, to get Faraday nets if it's necessary.
Yeah.
You can hang them like curtains, and they shield you from radio frequency, EMF, that type of thing.
It would be a good experiment
to try. I'm going to do that. And I want to see, are there directed energy weapons somewhere pointing towards my home? They could be coming from orbit. Who knows? They've got these things in orbit as well.
I definitely think they do. I'm going to steal screen share just for a second because I found this this is a 5 hours ago News Nation article. Directed energy weapons could be weaponized, neuroscientist warns. I don't know. That's a weird statement. Directed energy weapons could be weaponized. But if you look, can cause significant damage to humans. But potential countermeasure being developed to help protect the public. Of course, it's about protection. And it even mentions the Havana syndrome here.
Yes.
And it's not fictional fantasy ray gun stuff. The technology exists and exists at the point that can be weaponized. I think it's one of those things where, 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they'd call you crazy, like UFOs, UAPs, plasma beings, 9/11, COVID, whatever. And then, it's like 5 years ago, it was if you said lab leak, for COVID, you'd be called a crazy person. And now they leak out in the news cycle that it was a lab leak. Similarly with these directed energy weapons, similarly with UFOs and UAPs, it's all becoming true. The that's why I made that song I played for you guys earlier. They call it conspiracy, but it's straight reality. That's one of the lines. And we're now living in this world where these quote conspiracy theories are all turning out to be true. So I don't think it's crazy or I think it's within the realm of possibility that you may be a targeted person. I hope not, right, Megan?
I take precautions. Whatever I can do, I try. I'm careful. I'm observant.
Good.
I'm aware.
Good. Well, so I flashed this earlier as sort of a little teaser. So I'm flashing it again because we want to highlight some of your most interesting findings, including this weird doorway that we're going to take a look at because Jean's going to do a presentation for us. But before we do, I wanted to just talk about, you know, the monkey in the room, or whatever the saying is, of pareidolia, because pareidolia is a real thing, first of all. Second, our only frame of reference to compare these things to is things on Earth. And, you know, Mars does have a different, you know, geological structure, a different atmosphere, a different level of gravity. So it's not a perfect comparison. So there's those two things just to keep my skeptical mind active. But I know, and the audience is going to see, that there's just way too much weird stuff for it to be pareidolia. So how do you reconcile your own pareidolia? And obviously you've just put in the time and effort, but how do you work through that and work through the pareidolia criticism and stuff like that? I think it's, you know, how you present your findings. It's like, I see what I see, and what do you see? And let's have an open, honest discussion. Does that sound about right?
Yes, I do. I present the nuts and bolts. Then I try not to say what I think it is. I'd say I speculate it could be something like this that we'd find here on Earth for comparison's sake.
Yeah.
But let's go there, investigate these things, and see what they are.
And that's the only way to look at it.
We need boots on the ground to go and check these things out. For now, we're only speculating. And obviously, everything I present is possible evidence.
Yeah.
This is evidence. It's not proof. It's evidence of something that might be there.
Right.
Now, it's up to the other side to prove me wrong. This is now NASA, for example, the scientists, the geologists. I presented my evidence. Now, they've got to give their counter argument. And we're not getting that counter argument from these guys. All we get is geology processes, Aeolian processes, glacial processes. That's the descriptors on these photographs. But they won't come out and talk about the monkey in the room.
Right, which is...
They talk about the processes and the geology, yes.
Yeah, but yet there's lots of pyramids, lots of strange anomalies, megaliths, UAPs, which we're going to take a look at. So let's stop teasing the audience and let's get into it.
Right.
Because some of this stuff, Megan and I, all this stuff, Megan and I, or some of it, Megan and I haven't seen before on the show, on Mars Disclosure Live, which is exciting.
I've tried to change things up a bit. I've got a standard presentation, but in this one, I'm trying to add new stuff. So, yeah, to start off with, I've got to give credit to Neville Thompson for putting this gigapan together.
Is this
He
it?
created this color gigapan.
Yeah.
What's a
So
color gigapen?
Well, it's a large image that you can pan around in, zoom in. And this is a zoomed out view of that gigapan.
That's weird.
It's like an ultra close-up view of the doorway, for example, and you can move around left, right, up, down,
Okay.
pan through the photograph. A bit more flexible. So just a huge shout out to Neville for putting this gigapan together. So here we have a mound on Mars. And right there is a rectangular opening. And the estimates are it's about 1 meter or slightly less than 1 meter tall.
Okay.
So I've zoomed in on that to give us a closer look at the interior.
Whoa.
And it looks white. The interior looks like cement or plaster.
Yeah, it's a totally
It
different
doesn't
color.
have this reddish tint that the rock has. So if it's been cut into the rock, you'd have this rough texture.
Yeah.
And it would be sort of grayish, reddish. But this is almost cement, like in color.
Yeah.
And it's very smooth. There's a crack in the cement as well, or plaster if it is. And it looks like this was cut into the side of this mound. Just like you find here on Earth with the chambers that cut into rocks, like Barabar caves.
Right. That's what it makes me think of.
Those chambers into those huge boulders. Some speculate this part lying out to the bottom right might fit into that opening because it's also very smooth on the one side.
Okay.
It definitely looks possible. There's another spot, if you go back quick, there's another spot that has the same color in the top right.
Top right.
Well, no, not top right, but like
Mid
right.
right.
Yeah, like right there. Yeah, that's some of the same
Yes.
color.
Yeah, that's also interesting. It's like flat.
It's flat and it has this almost
yeah,
a 90-degree, like, yeah.
Yeah. It's similar to that box-like HVAC thing that we spoke about with the openings in it, and it looks like rusted metal.
Yeah.
It's that sort of material. But I didn't zoom in on it in this presentation, but that is very interesting, yeah. This is a comparison of something similar here on Earth.
Oh, this is on Earth. Okay.
Yeah.
This is the tomb of Uki.
Okay.
It's also cut into the side of a mound, and it has these, like the slope that we see here of the mound visible here as well. And then the rectangular opening, like a pillar, that it looks as if it is visible there too on the left of this opening. And there's a comparison. Earth left, Mars right. I'm sure if you were to show someone that image on the right and you don't tell them where it is, they'd think it's a tomb here on Earth, I'm sure.
I do too.
Yeah.
That's one of the weirdest ones I've seen you show.
Yes. And it's curious. At the same time I found this, Joe White from Art Alien TV also found it. We sort of posted our videos to YouTube at the same time as well.
What?
If we were both told, go check out this photograph.
Maybe you were.
I don't know. Joe and I.
Telepathically, though. Who knows?
I wish Joe could come onto the show. He's also a very interesting researcher. Maybe in the future. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I go to the next one?
Yeah, keep
Yeah.
going.
All right. This is where pareidolia might be an issue. I was initially drawn to the bright rectangular part in the middle of this photograph where my mouse cursor is.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw this funny thing to the bottom left. And, no, I took a closer look.
This thing is weird.
Oh my
I don't
goodness.
know. Look, pareidolia says you see things in clouds.
How big
But
is this thing?
it's about 33 feet long
Whoa.
from bottom to top.
What on earth?
And I don't know what to make of it, but to me, it looks like a skull.
It does look like a skull. I don't know what to
Not
make of it either,
of
but you've
a
got
humanoid, but maybe a sculpture of sorts.
a sculpture of a skull. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
like you saw in the movie Prometheus, Alien Prometheus.
Yes.
On top of that dome was that sculpture of a head.
Well, you've got a cranium, 2 eye sockets, a nose, teeth at the bottom. That is very peculiar.
Yeah.
And I mean, could geology do that? Potentially. I don't know how. Like, you don't see anything else like that around there.
Look, it could be pareidolia, but the symmetry and the shape of that thing just makes it look like a face. The face in Cydonia, for example, that you can barely make out. Papers have been written on it and science has been done on it, and it keeps coming up over and over and over again. Isn't this maybe a better face that people could start talking about?
Whoa.
I don't know. And it's on a slope of a mountain, Charitum Montes.
Okay.
So it could have been at the top, at the peak, and it could have rolled down the slope. Who knows? But
Spooky.
that is very spooky.
Yeah.
You want to do the next one?
Ooh, yeah. Yes,
Okay,
please.
check these out. Some random rocks and boulders. Some have got little parts on top of them. And I'd normally focus on those. There's a triangular one there, but this drew my attention. Check that out. It's this weird rectangular part. It's got a uniform thickness to it, the bottom part. It's got like a rectangular opening on the right-hand side, like a vent, like a duct. Then it's got the disc and dome on the top, sort of in line with the center of this object.
It looks like a spaceship to me. I'm just going to straight
It
up
does.
say
It looks like some type of wreckage or a craft or something.
Right, exactly.
But what makes it very interesting is this part on the top right doesn't follow the same line as the bottom left.
No,
It's
like,
got this jagged look to it.
yeah, like it was.
What happened there? If that wasn't there, I'd say this is some type of structure or something. Could that be a part of wreckage that got stuck into the side of this thing? Or folded out from underneath the object? Could we be looking at the bottom of this thing that folded out
Yeah.
and up?
I mean,
I don't know.
the
What-
jaggedness makes me think it's the pieces have been broken off, and my mind wants to like take other other things in the image and put it, attach it to it to see if it fits, you know, like a puzzle.
Yes. But everything's so dispersed
Yeah.
and covered in sand. We don't know what pieces fit where, and if some of the pieces are actually covered in sand. But that to me doesn't look like a conventional rock or boulder.
No, not at
It's
all.
huge. I mean, that's 4, 8, 12. It's about 12 meters long. That's about 35 feet in length.
Wow.
About the size of a shuttlecraft in Star Trek. Oh my gosh, that is weird. Everything about that's weird.
Yes.
I'm going if it's not geology, I think it's most likely a structure and not a spacecraft. But it looks
Yes.
like a damn spacecraft to me.
It looks like some type of craft or a piece of a craft,
Right.
like the bridge or the conning tower. Who knows? Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, man. Let's keep
Yeah.
going.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to present 4 anomalies that look very similar in design, if I could call it design. That's 5. This is about 8 meters across. And that opening is about 6 meters in length.
Oh,
It
whoa.
looks like a duct. It looks like some type of duct. It's very smooth.
Interesting.
And this looks like
It's very smooth compared to what's around
it
it.
could be painted white.
Yeah,
Or
it's
could
a
it
different
be
color
metallic?
and it has a different like surface than anything else around it.
Mm.
And you looked at all these other rocks and they don't look anything like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And look at that geometric opening.
Yeah.
It's definitely an opening because the shadow and lighting on it.
I was just going to comment on the shadow.
And it's sort of square. Could it have been part of a huger object?
I think
It
that's
almost
a
looks
lot
like
of what we're dealing with.
sculpture. Yeah, it almost looks like sculpture or like pottery, but I haven't seen any rocks that ever looked like that.
No.
There's one potential one, Megan, that I'm going to show you in a sec.
Okay.
Here's the other one. It's about 5 meters across, that opening. Again, look at the surrounding parts. They look very metallic. And this one's opening is also very symmetrical. It's almost rectangular, with this lip sticking out from inside that opening.
It almost looks like the piece that's above it could like plug into that hole.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but it could, yeah. But yeah, I mean, guys, yeah, we got another piece that doesn't look like anything else around it.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this one. This one could be more made out of rock or some type of material like that. And its opening is also, let's see, that's about 4 meters. This one's opening is about 4 meters in length. But it looks more like the boulders around it, the same type of material.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very bright. It's the same color, same texture. But then again, it has this opening. So the first two, could that have been part of some type of wreckage, pieces of wreckage, and this more like a sculpture perhaps? And then the last piece, that one's opening is about 6, 7 meters across. Again, sort of rectangular in shape, the opening. And then this part on top, it looks almost like it can adjust. It's loose from the larger part.
Looks like a fossil almost.
Yeah. And if it isn't, could this be a flap that moves up and down to make this opening narrower and wider.
What
Like
I keep thinking is,
vectoring on a jet.
what I keep thinking is, after like a major catastrophe, something like structures were blown apart, and we know there's been major catastrophes on Mars, and if a structure was blown apart and pieces were, ejected everywhere, that's what we could be looking at.
Yeah, and Megan, you say it looks like a fossil. What do you think? What comes to mind when you see this? What can you compare it to?
Like some sort of like giant bug, or like almost something with a hard shell, like a dinosaur or something.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
My brain goes to some kind of I don't know how big this thing is, but
it's the opening is about 6 to 8 meters across.
Okay.
So that's about what? 6, 8 is about 20 feet.
Or maybe something you'd see in like the ocean, like some sort of like
Yeah. And there they are for comparison. So
those geometric openings are very strange.
The first one gets me.
The one to the top left looks like a piece of a craft.
Yes.
Some aircraft. And I compare it to that, the air intake duct on a jet.
Okay.
Look, it's pareidolia, but for the sake of comparing it to something that we know that looks similar, especially to the top left-hand one.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys agree, but it looks a lot like that, doesn't it? Definitely. Well, am I crazy?
Well, I see it.
No, it does look like that. And like I said, leading in, we only have one way to what we only have here on Earth and things we see here on Earth to compare to, unless, like you said, you get boots on ground and take a closer look.
Yes. Can you imagine walking up to these things? You could go in here. I mean, and walk from this side to that side. It's like 20 feet across. Wow. You could host a party inside there, you know what I mean? Could these be like HVAC, air vents? I don't know, wind traps? Intriguing. Next one, shall I go ahead?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay, this is one that many people might be familiar with. This is the landscape. It's very smooth and flat, and it looks as if there was a lot of water here in the past. I'll show you why I say that. Now, if you look at this, the object right at the top in the center looks weird. It looks like a raptor, a bird, a raptor's head and a beak. Mm-hmm. But that didn't catch my eye. This did. It's in the bottom left-hand corner.
That one's weird too. The one at the top is weird too. But yeah, that we've literally got a pyramid there.
Yes. Now, if you look at its edge on the surface, you'll see there's erosion around it.
Yeah.
Which says to me this thing was standing in like a swamp or very shallow water, like a lagoon or something.
Interesting.
And what's interesting is the pyramids in Egypt. Underneath the pyramids is a lot of water. And it's right next to the Nile.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen the crater pyramids that Gary and myself have found as well, and Richard Hoagland, where you have like a round reservoir and then a pyramid directly next to it.
Mm-hmm.
So were these pyramids connected to some type of water? Were they using water in the technology they employed? And it looks as if it was under a lot of water too, because it's covered in silt. Well, it looks like silt. And it looks like the water ran down the sides and eroded.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was going to say, when you first showed this to us, I think I described it as looking like when a wave comes up and takes out your sandcastle on the beach.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. We know there were floods on Mars.
Yeah.
And all the explosions, the nuclear explosions, Dr. Brandenburg will talk about those in our Sunday live stream. Those were devastating blasts. And obviously the water, the oceans, tsunamis spread right across the planet and decimated everything. Yeah, you can see to the top right are shards of that pyramid potentially. Some of the blocks. But yeah, I mean, at 3 kilometers per side.
Yeah, it's very uniform.
It's like the pyramid in Total Recall. Remember with Schwarzenegger?
Find it.
Where he put his hand on that device with his 3 fingers. And then those probes came down and melted the ice and it produced oxygen. Remember that movie? It reminds me of that pyramid.
It does. I'm trying to find an image of it.
And then obviously the protruding part on the bottom left-hand side, right there in the center of it. It's also covered in sand and silt. And then a good example of what that might be is one of the pyramids in Teotihuacan, where we have that ramp on the one side. Obviously, this is covered in sand and stuff, and it's eroded. So we won't be able to see any steps or blocks or anything like that. And because it's so huge, you won't be able to see the blocks at this resolution anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, next one.
Yeah.
There are 3 pyramidal features, and they're arranged in a similar fashion as to those in Cairo. That are arranged
like an Orion correlation.
Orion's belt. That's right. Now, the one over here to the left, if you look at its erosion and its shape, is almost identical to the D&M pyramid close to the face in Cydonia. But I mean, these are also huge. The pyramid here in the center at the base is 4 kilometers in length. So it's even bigger than the one I just showed you.
Whoa.
So also in Egypt...
4 kilometers, you said?
Yes. So you can imagine in Cairo, the 3 pyramids, there's a huge one and then 2 smaller ones, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And that sort of pattern is repeated here. A huge one and then 2 smaller ones. So let's have a look at this one on the left. Okay, the image on the left shows you the D&M pyramid, very close to the face in Cydonia. You could walk to the face from here. Then you've got that one that's next to those other 2 on the right. Look at the shape.
They have 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Interesting.
And what surprises me is that the D&M pyramid, just like the face, have been spoken about again and again and again, and papers have been written about it. Maths and geometry have been done about it. But what about this one? Doesn't it warrant a closer look and closer scrutiny, given the fact that it's next to 2 others? Wouldn't it be prudent to actually investigate these to the same level and nth degree that the one on the left over here was investigated?
These are really strange.
This frustrates me. I mean, it's time that the guys look at new stuff. They must stop looking at just the DNM pyramid in the face. What about all this other new evidence?
Do we have 5-sided pyramids
On Earth? I can't recall. I can't recall.
Either way, it's very strange that they all have the same formation and they're all right next to each other. And there's for lack of a better word, Orion correlation going on there.
Yes, exactly. Look, it's flipped, but mirrored. But it's there. The correlation is there. Right. Next one. This is also one you might be familiar with. Right there in the center of this image is something geometric. It's rectangular, square in shape, with a funny round part in its center. It sticks out like a sore finger. There we go. It looks like a walled-in fort. It looks like a fortress with this funny little structure on the inside. And obviously, due to the flooding and the tsunamis and, explosions and things, sand has moved in over this wall, which is a pity. We need to go and excavate this thing. So it's 30 by 30 meters in length, the outer wall, which is 30, let me think, 11, 22, it's about, 60 feet by 60 feet? 40 by 40 feet? But it's also huge. I mean, you can put a house in there.
It's giving me like, I was going to say the geoglyphs in the Amazon.
Yeah. I was thinking like stuff that they find in Peru that's like, basically super weathered, but you can tell it was like an old structure.
Yeah, the one on the left, this is the Chanquillo structure in Peru. It's also a walled fort.
Yeah, that's
these
what I was thinking.
structures on the inside.
Totally.
I'm not saying it is the same on Mars, but it looks similar. It's got walls,
the round structure in the middle. Inside. Yeah. Wild.
So, yeah. Very, very interesting. Next one?
Yeah, let's go. Whenever you want to move on, just go for it.
Check this out.
What?
Meteorite impact, right? Check how round it is. It's a circular depression, isn't it?
I just think there's no way that's a meteorite impact.
No.
First thought.
There's lots of right angles here. You've got a large rectangular shape, and then a smaller one, like a cross. It's almost like a cross.
Right.
To me, this looks like the foundations of a building.
Yeah.
Could have been some type of temple or monument. Yeah, and I mean, this thing's also huge. It's 50 meters across.
Wow.
So what is that? What is 50 meters? 80 feet?
Well,
you can play football in there.
It's almost in the shape of a cross.
Yes.
It's got 2 rectangular features on either side, plus 2 larger ones. I mean, I don't know what to do with this one. It looks like something like landed there and then took off like a
might be
depression.
it's like an impression, yes.
Yes.
I feel like it goes deeper because the sand or whatever it is within it looks like it's been like blown in, and it looks different than all the surrounding areas.
Yeah.
Yes. Like it had a basement.
Yeah, like I'd like to excavate that one for sure.
Definitely.
Yes, and there's blocks. You can see blocks as well. If you look carefully here where the mouse cursor is.
Yeah.
There's 3 blocks. Sort of the same size, next to one another as well. So whatever happened destroyed this thing. It wiped it off the planet and left its foundation. That's what I speculate.
That's pretty cool.
I like my spaceship landed and then took off.
And then the megaliths. I find so many of them on Mars, but they're like randomly dispersed. One here, one there, one here, one there. But every once in a while you come across sites where you can actually see they're still next to one another in rows. Now, whether this was a road or a wall, I'm not sure. But there are blocks next to one another.
It makes me think of the Bimini Road.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, if you look at the way lake beds dry out and the way they crack, you know, you get these random cracks. And they make weird shapes. Are we looking at something similar here? But you don't see anything else around here, so it's just there. And you can make out a line going through here. So could these be megalithic blocks that were actually constructed to fit neatly next to one another like this?
Potentially.
Yeah, because you got 2 next to a long one, and then 2 next to a long one. Surely if it was a dried out lake bed, the cracks would go through the larger ones too. That's what I think. I could be wrong. And I mean, the long blocks here, 8 meters, that is what? 25 feet in length.
Yeah.
So you can walk on here easily. You can camp out on there, park your RV on there.
I mean, it looks like something, you know, like a cyclopean wall from Peru or all over the world. Those things are, but there's a lot in Peru as well.
Yes.
That's crazy, man.
But the sand, I mean, the sand covers the majority of the artifacts on Mars.
Right.
Plenty of excavation needs to be done there.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, this is in the same area. Again, if you look at the terrain, immediately those there in the middle stick out.
Yeah.
And some of them have got these protrusions on them.
Yeah, those knobs. And that's like that happens in Peru too, but these ones look a lot bigger, these knobs. Nubs, they call them.
Again, yeah. If that's 8 meters, that would be 2, 4. That would be about a meter in diameter, that the round thing. Meter, I don't know what that is in feet. 3 feet?
Something like that. Close
in
enough.
diameter?
I don't know, but yeah, that's close. Megan and I are both Canadian, so you can say meters to us.
Or
Oh,
feet.
okay.
We associate.
Okay. I know you've got a lot of American viewers. That's why I always try and convert. Maybe I should start doing that on my videos too. I should actually put the meters and feet. Yeah, I'm going to start doing that. It's a lot more trouble, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful for people.
Yeah.
Mostly just for the Americans, though, because everyone else in the world uses meters.
Maybe the Americans are right and the rest of the world's wrong. You never know. I don't mind. imperial, metric, who cares? The fact's a fact. That's where they are. That's what they look like. Check.
That's exactly what I said before. So it's funny that you went there. And these nubs are similar. I don't know. It looks like a cyclopean wall that was knocked down to me.
Possibly, yeah. Look, if there's a lot of mud and the soil's very soft, won't it sink in and then gradually tilt over and then just lie flat? I don't know, because look, it would sink in, tilt over, and the blocks would still be relatively close to one another. It's not like it toppled over immediately and these blocks dispersed.
For the record, a meter is just over 3 feet.
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, maths was never my favorite topic, although I had to study it. Because I actually studied electrical engineering or electronic engineering. And that's my background. I'm actually an electronics engineer.
Oh, no way. Wow.
Yeah. Can you believe I'm doing this now?
We got to get you designing the next rover then.
Yeah, so it was electronics engineering, then web development and graphic design. Then it was project management. Then I did a bit of sales and marketing. And then I ended up doing web development and graphic design again.
No way.
I've had a really colorful history.
Well, I think it all lends to perfect.
Can you believe it? All at the same company, guys.
It all leads to a perfect background to do what you're doing here. So maybe it's not a coincidence.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I was destined to do this.
Well, I'm glad you do it because
thanks, man.
This is fun for me.
Next one.
Yeah.
Okay, more blocks. Right there in the middle.
These block ones are my fave because I feel like you really have to, like when you look at when you're watching from when you're looking from the out view, it shows how much because you mentioned you start in the top left corner, and you work your way down, and there's so many that you have to go yay or nay to, and until if you find one in the image that's weird, then you can we need like 1,000 more of you doing all this at the same time so we can get more than 1%. But
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You know Dr. Maneli Max Derekshani? I interviewed him a couple of weeks ago on my channel. He works with the UAP Disclosure Forum and group in DC. He actually mentioned something that they're working on creating algorithms to sift through all these photographs to identify the anomalies.
Yeah, I bet AI
I could be speaking under correction, but I think that's what he alluded to.
I'd like to talk to him on our show.
They are. Yeah, I would love for Max to come onto the show.
Yeah,
he's also a very intriguing guy. He does a lot of UAP, UFO research. As I say, he's involved with the guys in DC for this UAP disclosure thing. He does moon anomalies, Mars anomalies, and UAP, UFO on the moon, as well as space shuttle missions that have filmed UFOs in our atmosphere. I don't know if you've watched the interview I did with him.
I haven't, but I'm going to now.
He's also on Ross Coulthard on News Nation.
Oh, wow.
He talks about this stuff too.
Well, if you could set that up, I'd love to talk to him. And I'm looking forward to watching the video on your channel.
Do you want to do, not on the live stream, one-on-one with him?
Yes.
Okay, I'll ask him.
Yes, please.
No, he'd be delighted to. I'm sure you'll want to. But like you say, you're scrolling through these photographs, And then you get to blocks, megaliths, blah, blah, blah. But then your eye spots something else. And then you end up rejecting all those and only focusing on the most weird one that's there. So, yes, lots of other anomalies in the photograph I didn't cover, and I focused on this one because that's what it looks like. So it's not a block on its own. It's not a megalith, you have a little protrusion on it. These are still sort of next to one another. And the one to the top right, I speculate, was made to fit into that opening on the larger part.
The nubs are quite compelling.
Yes, triangle. There's a depiction of a triangle.
Puzzle pieces.
And there are sites on Mars where you get these big blocks with their depictions of triangles on them. I've done a couple of videos on those too. Maybe I'll bring that into a live stream one day and show you guys.
I think you should.
Geometric shapes. You get circles, outlines of circles, triangles, squares, T's.
This one looks like a puzzle piece to me, with nubs on it.
And it's 33 feet across, 12 meters.
Mm.
And it reminds me of the huge megaliths in Peru, where they were also cut or molded to fit like this. The one above the guy's head reminds me of the one there on Mars.
Agreed.
But yeah, I mean, for sake of comparisons, yeah, that looks like it, but it could be something totally different. Got no clue.
Yeah, I mean, we really only have what we can compare to, but at the same time, there's just the sheer volume of weird anomalies on Mars, and then they look like the unexplained structures we have in Peru and Egypt and Mesoamerica, and
Pumapunku as well. We've got those blocks spread out all over the place. Yeah, Mars reminds me of Pumapunku as well, in a big way. Yeah, and there's one on its own in the middle of the image. You see these square? You see that one?
Mm-hmm.
And the smaller squares here on the ones on the top. Here's one on its own. It isn't next to any others. Look at that. Perfect square with this thing on it in its end.
It's like Lego.
Look at the surrounding parts. I mean, what is that doing there? It's like tossed up. Everything was tossed up in the air, went into orbit, and then came down again, all over the place.
That's what I think of.
Because where's its counterparts? It's right there on its own, the poor guy. Or girl. I don't know.
That's what I think of, though, is and you know, things getting ejected and all over the place, and you're trying to take all these pieces and put them back together. There's really no way to do that except for to do what you're doing.
You can't. They dispersed so far and wide, and then you don't know what's under the sand.
Yeah, because there could be a bunch more under the sand that you can't see.
You can ask AI to try and reconstruct, but I don't know if it will be able to. I mean, everything's so random.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe one day.
And we'd have to reconstruct the catastrophe that did it, too.
Yes.
Which would be very difficult.
And then sort of reverse engineer.
Right.
Where these parts originated.
Maybe AI can do that someday.
I don't know. But I'm not going to try it. I mean, no, it'll take too long. I just don't have enough time. Right. So, again, if you look at this, the L shape,
Yeah, I
where my
see
mouse
that.
cursor is, sticks out, and into the top right, you got blocks next to one another.
That was the first one that caught my eye,
Yeah.
but I see the L shape as well.
Now, is this a piece of a structure that broke off, or part of a wreck, some debris? Because look at the part next to it. There, it looks like there's an opening here. And what's and the 45-degree angle on
Looks
the
mighty
longer part.
It's debris. I think it's debris of structures.
Yeah.
That's
Let's have a look at those ones at the top right. Again, there's a square block. This one doesn't have a protrusion on it. It could be on the other side. But look at the way these are still sort of next to one another. And then there's a bevel cut onto the one side of the longer one.
even the thing on the right looks like it was broken off of itself. Like those two used to be attached. You know,
It could be, yeah. I mean, look at
that
the
looks like
bigger
the ruins
picture.
of a structure that's the rest of it's buried under the sand. That's what that looks like.
Yeah, there are blocks over here too that I didn't focus on. There's also huge blocks over here to the bottom right. I don't know if you can see them, where my mouse cursor is.
Yep.
But
There's
yeah,
geometric symmetry there too.
yes. Right. And this fascinates me.
Yeah, what is this?
This is an old photograph taken by the Mars Global Surveyor, which is long before the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter with its high-resolution camera. Now, what's interesting is this older photograph shows more detail than the latest high-rise MRO photograph. The high-rise MRO photograph looks as if it's been manipulated, in my opinion.
Oh dear.
The older photographs tend to show more details than the high-resolution equivalents taken a couple of years later. I mean, yeah, you can clearly see this is a shiny surface for the shoreline. It's like ice.
Yeah, that's what it makes me think of.
On the high-rise photograph taken of the same anomaly, there's red ground there with normal boulders and cracks and things. Nothing like this. No smooth surface, nothing. Even these things on the right-hand side that look like
Little blocks.
mooring points, I think you call them.
Called what?
What are they called when you park your boat next to the side of a lake?
A
What do
dock?
they call that? Docking points, yeah. Not even those show up nicely in the high-rise photograph. And yeah, we're looking at a lake that's 1 kilometer in length.
1 kilometer.
Yes. And those docking points, if they are about 25 meters apart. And then a nice, neat row as well next to the shoreline. Could those be little boats? Who knows? Yeah, the resolution isn't high enough to tell. But I mean, look at the shoreline and these strange root-like things growing into the water. That's what you'd expect from vegetation, when you'll see the roots in the water.
Yeah.
And this lake is surrounded by what look like bushes. from the top down, the bottom left of this photograph, you can see these fractal patterns. They look like branches of trees, like webs. Can you see that at the bottom left?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, and then this looks like thick, dense bush next to it at the bottom right. And then the potential roots growing into the water. I don't know, speculation.
Well, that's all we can do.
Yeah.
Right?
And then this one, this was found by Thomas Mikey Jensen. I think he's in Norway or the Netherlands. But anyway, this is a ridge line running through here, and it's covered in sort of dunes or something. But on the top is what looks like a disc with long, narrow black windows.
It's almost like a little observatory or something.
And it's like a football field in length, 110 meters.
Yeah.
It looks like a UFO or an outpost with these huge windows looking out over this valley in front of it.
Yeah, like a place to observe that valley.
I'm picturing like a really nice restaurant being in there.
Now, if you look at, this is also an old MSG or Mars Global Surveyor photograph. If you look at the newer high-rise photographs of the same site, that thing's not there. Why? Could it be that they manipulated the photograph, or the thing moved away, flew away?
A lot of questions.
But look at the reflections on it. It looks metallic.
It does.
I don't know, dude. I don't.
I think there's definitely photo manipulation going on for sure.
If it's not in the latest high-resolution photograph, it doesn't even look vaguely the same.
Weird.
You're right. This is one we covered in a live stream.
Yeah.
Now we get to the rovers. We were looking at orbiter photographs. Now we get to the rovers.
Yeah, I posted a clip of this from Mars Disclosure Live on my channel because this is one of the most interesting finds, I think.
Yes,
out there.
Definitely.
And this is where I talk about, look at the geometry and the symmetry of that thing. It's not a rock.
This is the hardest one for my brain to like come up with a reason how it could potentially maybe be natural on Mars. Like this one, I'm like that. There's nothing natural about that.
No, not at all.
And I've looked at orbiter photographs taken from orbit of this site where the rover was when it took this photograph. And that thing doesn't show up at 25 centimeters per pixel. So my argument is this thing is small. It's probably the length of your arm, where other people argue this is much bigger, it's a column. Other people argue it's only about 20 centimeters long.
I just want to dig all up around and under there and see if there's more shit like that under there. Because that's a metallic cylinder protruding from the earth. Like, what the hell? What's it attached to?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
That's right.
Go, yeah.
Wow. And it's lying sort of across a dune that runs across horizontally. So it's not conical. It's actually a pipe.
Yeah.
It's a cylinder.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's solid or hollow.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from here. It could be either.
Yeah. Because it's not transparent. So you don't see light inside it. So this is probably metal, sheet metal, if it's a pipe. But it could be solid as well. I don't know. but there's no light inside this thing. It's pitch black. I've tried to zoom in there. And then this one on the left.
That cylinder got featured on New York Times, didn't it?
It could have. It made it onto
Mainstream
major news networks. Avi Loeb, I mean, mentions it too on his on his what does he call him on his blog? He's got a blog that he runs. I can't remember what it's called now. Medium. On his Medium.
It's on New York Post.
Yeah, and on some other news outlets. It's definitely featured all over. This one on the left. It's a small part. I'd say it's only about as big as your forearm or smaller. But look at the design. It's got like a rectangular flat part with these nubs on it.
I don't know what to do with that one.
Spaced evenly apart. I mean, rock. I don't know if that's a boulder or rock or a stone.
Fossil.
Yeah, that's what I think of as a fossil.
It could be half a jaw with some teeth.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
But gosh, who knows? That sure is weird. And I can't imagine how geology would make that. Because you'd see similar stuff. You know what I mean?
No, it's not like a crystal or anything like that.
Yeah.
I know. It's mind-blowing.
I don't know what to do with that one. It's almost like a totem, but it's small.
No, for a lack of a better term, I called it a totem-like object.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what else to compare it to.
It's so weird.
All right. Then we get to these sort of parts that look like wreckage. There's even here to the bottom right. It's a pity I haven't got that in this presentation, but it looks like a sculpted head. Yeah, to the top is the jaw. Then you can see the nose and the eyes.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see that till...
Yeah, but I've got a better one that I'm going to show in a moment. But let's look at this piece. This still intrigues me. I mean, is it a fossil?
It looks like an organ to me, like a kidney.
Yeah, it does. It looks like or a fuel bladder on a plane or something made out of rubber. Because there's a pipe-like part on the right. And then these rips in it. I mean, you can see the rip clearly on the left.
Yeah.
And that part curls in, and this part curls out. It's like it's been ripped or torn, punctured.
Very strange.
Yeah, I keep coming back to this thing. Look at its texture as well. It looks like snake skin. Alligator skin.
I think fossil when I see that.
And yeah, where my logo is, that part looks like a bone. I don't know.
I noticed that too. That's strange.
And audience, if you tell us what you think this stuff is too in the comments, please.
Yeah, we want to hear what you think.
There's shattered parts all over here. And what intrigues me too is the color. Because the texture or the color of the terrain, sort of like this camel brown, reddish color. Mm-hmm. And then these pieces, like bluish, metallic.
Yeah, it looks like wreckage.
Yes.
Yeah, metallic wreckage.
Now, yeah, to the left, is a very intriguing part. Can you see where my cursor is?
Yes.
And Aviat to the right. If you look at the other rocks, Avia, they look different. Check this out. What do you guys see there? Pareidolia, yeah, we come.
Little face
Well-
there on the
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
see a little face there. There's like straight line cracks on the side of it here that go
Yeah.
vertical and to the side.
Yes. But Aviat to the right, it looks like a paw as well. I don't know what this is, guys, but it looks similar to a face, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it definitely does.
And then that other part to the right. Look at those two pieces next to one another. Those protruding parts.
I don't know. I don't want to say where my pareidolia is going with those.
I'm with you though.
Is it a fossil?
It reminds me of like carved rocks on our planet from ancient cultures where they left behind these like carvings in the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was very interesting. Two pairs of these funny things.
Yeah, it doesn't look like stuff I'm used to seeing on their own.
That's very strange.
And it's got this color, this bluish color as well. Everything around here has got this bluish metal-like appearance. It's very odd. Can you imagine
sure.
if you can collect this piece and bring it home, what it will be worth?
Well, the
Yeah.
zoom out image of it even just looks like whatever happened in that area. The larger piece of stone there got completely obliterated by
Right.
something.
Yes.
Exactly.
Like an explosion just ripped everything apart.
Right.
Yeah, big time. And spread it across this like other landscape.
It's a debris field.
Yeah.
Massive.
What if it was like, what if it was at one point like one big sculpture that had all sorts of images on it and it got destroyed to hide the evidence? Ooh.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Mars, they made sure they destroyed everything. I mean, here and there's a semi-intact pyramid and a couple of blocks still next to one another, but the rest of it's all strewn about. So they did a good job. Then we get to UAPs on Mars. And we'll be ending the presentation on these. Now, this one was found by Joe White from Art Alien TV.
And this is
To
a
me,
rover
this
photograph?
looks like...
This is a rover photograph?
Yes.
And that's in the air, that thing.
Yes.
What the fuck?
We haven't seen this one yet.
It looks like a type of a dragonfly to me.
Some sort of insect, yeah.
This part sticking off to the bottom looks as if it was moving faster than the rest of it, like a wing.
Like it's propulsion or something?
Yes, yes.
What on earth?
To me, that looks like a creature or an insect. It doesn't look like a craft.
No.
I could see it being a weird Martian drone or something. I don't know.
Not a craft that we know, at least.
No, yeah. There's not a whole lot to compare it to, but I didn't realize there was things flying around on Mars, regardless of if it's an insect or a spaceship. That's ridiculous.
Yes. Interesting as well is these two smaller fin-like parts. on either
Yeah.
side of the head, for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
like a fish. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
strange.
I don't know what to do with that. A lot
No.
of these you don't know what to do with, and that's why. Come on, Elon, 2030, let's go.
Yes.
Let's take a look at some of this shit. But the fact that something like, I'm just trying to imagine, I don't know, some kind of dust storm kicking up a weird rock, and that's what it is, but that seems very unlikely.
Mm.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
That to me.
I'm just trying to like be skeptical, but like there's nothing to. I don't
But
know.
dust
Dragonfly,
particles, if they were on the lens, you wouldn't see them because the lens focuses out far. The focal length is quite far, so you won't see dust on the lens. So that was an object, maybe an arm's length from the rover, maybe further, who knows?
Oh.
But definitely a physical object.
Well,
Yeah.
so we don't have any reference for size.
No, none at all.
Okay.
Shall I go to the next one?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one. We've seen this one.
Yeah,
on Mars.
Brian calls this the pinwheel UAP.
It kind of has similar features as the last one, but it's a different color. That might just have to do with the image itself.
Yeah. This one's more reflective, if you could say it's reflective.
Yeah.
And what is this long part shooting down to the surface?
Yeah.
Could that be
propulsion?
Could that be a contrail, a light beam, something that's being shot down to the surface? I don't know. This is another one of those that blows my mind.
It's giving me like Portal with something shooting out of a portal.
And it looks like maybe it's a sort of a delta wing craft drone. I don't know. It's another one of those that remains unexplained. And again, Joe White discovered this one.
UAPs on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a
This should be
close-up.
front page news. I don't.
Yeah.
Wild.
This is more of a solid part to the right, and then these two pieces sticking off, or two parts, are sort of transparent.
It definitely is. Yeah, transparent.
Yes.
What on earth is that?
No.
What on Mars is that? I mean.
Yes. Ready for the next one?
Yeah, please.
Okay, yeah, we get to the gimbal-like UFO. Okay, yeah, I've got conventional versus normal. No, conventional magnification versus Topaz Labs deconvolution upscaling. So let's take a closer look at this thing. It's got the classic gimbal shape, but then this probe sticking out the bottom.
Yeah.
Now, and there's a similar one that was photographed on a different day.
This looks a lot like what they've been releasing in the war.gov/UFO files too.
Yes. And
Like
Max is going to try and get the team in this direction as well, looking at UAPs on Mars. Because they are looking at UAPs on the moon as well now.
They're everywhere.
So if Max can invite them to look at this, it would be awesome as well. Sorry, Megan?
I said they're everywhere.
Yes, yes,
Moon,
they are.
Mars, Earth. Where aren't they?
There's the other one, taken on a different day. Sol 3406, and another one was Sol 3828. Could it be the same craft? Because it also has this protruding part of the bottom.
It's very similar.
It looks like what I've been going through on the war.gov/UFO files. There's one like that flies straight across like a military outpost that they were surveilling. Looks just like that.
Incredible, eh?
Whoa.
Then we got this one. Way out in the distance, there's this blur. Can you see that black dot?
Yep, I see it.
Check it this.
Again.
Oh.
It looks like the Starship Enterprise.
It really does, which it's near and dear to my heart. I'm literally watching Star Trek: The Next Generation right now. I've been binging it the last 2 weeks.
I'm a Trekkie as well, secretly, I must admit.
I should have worn my costume today.
I like Star Wars, but Star Trek, man. The older episodes, that was awesome. But yeah, I mean, look at that. Dust particle out in the distance, who knows? I don't know.
It could be. I mean, yeah, it could be, but I don't know. The similarities between that and the other 2 or 3 that you showed are quite compelling. I see another one here in the top left.
That's the terrain for context as well. These are boxed-in areas on Mars. I've done an episode where I actually look at a top-down view taken from orbit, from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter of this site. And there's these huge boxed-in areas. They look like fish farms or salt mining operations. Yeah, you can see the walls. But anyway, let's have a look at that. Wait, there. Yeah. Classic gimbal.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah.
So interesting.
I don't know. Guys, what the heck's going on Mars?
Well, we got pyramids, fossils, debris fields, cyclopean walls, UAPs. I don't know, man.
Perfect cylinders.
Perfect cylinders. Yeah, don't forget about that perfect cylinder. Jeez.
So, yeah, I think that's the end of the presentation. Let's see. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I'm going to stop sharing.
No problem. And I'm just gonna share this because I have a question. What's the structure again called? The Scar Vallis Marineris or something like that?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where potentially there was an alleged catastrophe, either plasma discharge or massive solar outburst, a massive impact, whatever. Different people say different things. But I guess I just wanted to ask, like, is there an area on Mars that seems to have more artifacts? And are they further away from this catastrophe area? Because the reason I'm asking is because the Younger Dryas impact, or airburst or whatever, supposedly happened, in North America, like the upper part of North America. And there's less to find in that area. And then the further you get away from the impact or whatever, airburst or whatever it is, the more you find like structures and stuff. So do you see what I'm getting at? Like,
it's the same on Mars, yes. Most of the anomalies I find are down in the southern mid-latitudes of Mars. The northern mid-latitudes, you only find the huge pyramids, basically.
Uh-huh.
And then the southern mid-latitudes, you find all the megaliths, the smaller parts, the wreckage, the possible fossils, etc., all down there and on the equator. Remember, the northern hemisphere, they speculate there was a huge ocean there, and that's where the 2 nuclear explosions were as well. And then obviously everything was like pushed away down to the south. So everything collected down at the southern part of the planet. So I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, and
Everything was like everything gathered there.
It goes along with what I'm speculating.
I got tossed up and landed there.
Yeah, and then anything that was close to the catastrophe itself is mostly wiped out.
Yeah, very smooth, flat terrain, basically. Also at a lower elevation than the southern hemisphere of Mars. So yeah, it supports the hypothesis that there was an ocean at the northern hemisphere.
And a civilization. I'm just saying.
That was bad. Whatever happened there, I hope it doesn't happen. Yeah, seriously.
We don't need that here.
No.
We got enough going on.
So, what are you working on right now, Jean? Like, or anything you're excited about right now?
Yes.
Within the field that you're working in?
I'm working on a book with an author in Italy. His name escapes me now, man. See what I mean by brain fog? I mean, I spoke to him last week.
You want to timestamp
anyway,
it?
We're writing a book. I've written a couple of chapters, and he's putting the whole thing together. He's written a couple of chapters as well. And we're going to be doing like a magazine, coffee table type of publication as well, with high glossy color illustrations and photographs.
That's a great idea.
That he wants to release at the same time as the book.
What's the concept of the book?
Mars anomalies, Mars pyramids, structures, ancient civilization.
Love it.
UAPs. He also looks into secret missions to Mars like Michael Craig did.
Interesting. Well, I'm excited about that. I'll definitely buy both those books. Keep us posted
I'll let you
on
know
that.
as soon as it's published, yeah. And then what else am I working on? Dude, I can't remember.
They're directed energy weaponing you.
Oh, I don't know. I've got like fog.
Well, we've been going for a little over 2 hours too. So let me ask you this. If you were given...
Giuseppe. Giuseppe. His name's Giuseppe.
Okay, the guy you're writing the book with.
Yeah, that's right. He's also ex-South African. He used to live down in Cape Town, and he immigrated to Italy a couple of years ago with his wife and kids.
I interviewed 2 South Africans in a row. The 9/11 guy that's dropping on Fridays from South Africa too. If you were given the keys to NASA, Jean, for the next 10 years, what would you have him do?
Disclose,
yeah, because they because they know more than
they do.
They say.
They've all probably signed something similar to non-disclosure agreements.
Yeah,
they're bound by the Space Act, the Brookings Report.
Yeah,
a lot of them have got grants. They're scared of losing their grants. Peer pressure. I'll definitely push for disclosure.
Well, you got the keys, so you can just disclose the whole thing.
I'll
in
tell
charge.
you, at least what you've got.
All right.
Obviously, you've got to look at security implications. But I mean,
just tell everyone. you know,
Yeah,
like
the EBEs, what do they call it? Non-biological intelligences, the extraterrestrial beings, the EBEs. There's so many names for them. We need biologics. We need to see the aliens that they've recovered from crashed craft and things.
which
That I want to see that. Look, I believe in the UFOs and stuff. That's been covered enough. Show us the bodies now.
well, supposedly they have them, like, and
They
there's
do.
different species, and some of them are like plasma beings that are potentially sentient, you know, and it's almost old news. And except for the fact that they haven't actually showed the shit to us.
Yes, Congressman Bruchette, how do you pronounce his surname?
Burchett.
Yes, he's pushing for that now. Because he's got a whistleblower that's come forward and spilled the beans on all of it. And now they're trying to push for that disclosure that we've all been waiting for.
Perfect.
No, we all know the UFOs, man. The UFOs are real. Some of them we built. Some of it is our tech. Some of it extraterrestrial. Some of it is plasma beings, intelligent beings. You know,
Yes. Some of it could be like
none of
demons
it
and
surprises me
angels from
anymore.
another dimension,
Yes.
shit like that. I believe it could be, or it's a combination of them all. And one of my takeaways from today is that you've only looked at 1% and have put in thousands of hours. And I feel like we need more people on this. So for anybody watching who wants to start looking at NASA imaging and help out, do you have any advice for them on how they would get started?
Yeah, I've done a couple of videos on my YouTube channel, how-to videos.
Oh, great. Awesome.
How to find anomalies, what to look out for, trends. Also, how to upscale images. Yeah. Where to find these sites.
Perfect.
Which photographs to look out for in the catalogs and things. Given lots of advice.
Outstanding. Megan, any final questions for Mr. JeanWard?
Maybe more of a comment. I just love your cultivation of curiosity. I love how you bring it to the table and say, I don't know, but this is kind of cool, and let's put our heads together. And I just really appreciate that of you, and love getting to spend time with you every couple weeks learning more.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I love doing this too. I can't see myself doing anything else. Apart from my daytime job, I know when I retire, I'm going to focus on this a lot more.
Well,
and that's maybe when we can start talking about putting a research team together, structured, organized, with a plan, with a mission.
Yeah.
I think you're leaving a legacy, Jean. This is by the end of this is going to be your legacy, and you should be proud of it. And
Thank you.
Proud of all the hours that you put into it. And I know Megan and I and everyone else are super grateful for the time that you put into it and the care. And as far as the health stuff goes, let's hope that they leave you alone. And let's hope I'm wishing you good health, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, brother. Yeah, what I'm going to do is definitely buy those meters to do measurements around my house to see where, if it is energy weapons or some RF from a cell tower or something close by, maybe I can block it with a Faraday curtain or something. Maybe it's a cell tower close to me. Who knows? Microwave. There's lots of internet microwave dishes around here too.
Yeah.
Well, keep us posted on that. I think it's a good experiment to run. And just for the record, John is not trying to unalive himself or run away from home anytime soon.
Nope.
And Thank you so much for your first appearance as a recorded guest on the Multiverse, and we look forward to hanging out with you every other week, including this Sunday coming up. This episode will come out after that, but everyone, you can see Jean on Mars Disclosure Live every 2 weeks on his channel, on my channel, our channel, Brian Corey Dobbs' channel, everyone's channel. We're trying to stream from as many channels as we can to get the information out there. And look forward to his book, coffee table book, plus a book about Mars anomalies. I think that's going to be important to get the mission out. Plus, wouldn't that be badass to have a coffee table book with high resolution images of all this weird shit on Mars? I think that would be amazing.
I want to mention something, Dave, before we sign off.
Yeah, man.
You know that the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter also has a radar. It's called Charade. It's been taking Lidar type scans of the surface of Mars too. And I found a couple of scans on those pyramids I showed you. The MRI scanned those pyramids with a Lidar. And I don't want to say too much, but you know the guy from Italy that's looking at what's underneath the pyramids in Egypt?
Yes.
Yes.
My friend Giuseppe knows him.
Filippo?
In Italy, they're friends.
What?
I'm not going to say more. Let's see what they find under the pyramids on Mars.
No way.
Love it.
Oh, cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger.
Love that.
Dave, Megan, it's been wonderful. Perfect host. I love what you're doing, Dave. I love how you put everything together, Megan. Thank you.
Oh, we appreciate
You're welcome, and thank you for joining the Multiverse. Signing off, light, love, and what's up, humans? If you're enjoying this content, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Megan and I are very grateful for all of your support, so thanks for joining the Multiverse.